A challenge to keep your eyes open. A challenge. But I have an apple today. To show you the bribe. Apple. I have an apple today. Yes, that's the same one. I found it in my bag. Nobody got an apple this morning because I couldn't find the prize. But I think the Lord hid it for a reason. Hid it for this evening's presentation. So I have a toss-up between somebody who won those and the best question coming for the Dr. Castro. Y'all very quiet. It doesn't matter. Somebody gonna get the apple today. I'd force the apple on you. So before we go into our presentation, we want to welcome Dr. Castro. I wanted to get assimilated into our culture. I know you at Kings County, but you're gonna understand. Okay, you're gonna understand what I'm talking about soon. So I want us to stand, and we're gonna sing a few songs, including a few choruses. So, and we got to sing a Merry Heart. We know it's Dementia Month. Anybody here got dementia? Say no. No, maybe nothing. Father, we want to thank you that you have allowed us, Father, to be still in the land of the living. We ask, Lord, that you bless our worship here even now. Lord, we want to ask for a blessing on Dr. Castro and her family. And as she does her presentation, Lord, help that we will retain something and we'd be able to help somebody who wasn't able to come and would need this information. We ask that you mightily condescend on us today, we pray in Jesus' name. Amen. So you may be seated. All right, so we're going to sing, I want a nice song, 422. So Dr. Castro, we usually get the congregation all ready for, so we sing to get good oxygen to the brain. 422. Come we that love the Lord. Marching to Zion, right? Oh, let's sing, come we that love the Lord, and let our joys be known. Join in a song with sweet accord, join in a song with sweet accord, and thus surround the throne and thus surround. Oh, let's march. We are marching to Zion. Beautiful, beautiful Zion. We are marching upward to heavenly Zion, the beautiful city of God. Let those refuse to sing who never knew our God, but children of the heavenly King, but children of the heavenly King may speak their joys abroad, may speak the joy. Oh, let's sing. Beautiful, beautiful Zion, we are marching upward to heavenly Zion, the beautiful city. Oh, the hill of Zion yields 1,000 sacred sweet. Before we reach that heavenly fields, before we reach the heavenly fields, or walk the golden streets, or walk the golden. Oh, let's march, we're marching to Zion. Beautiful, beautiful Zion. We are marching marching upward to heavenly Zion, the beautiful city. Then let our song, then let our songs abound, and every time we ain't got dementia, let's sing. Marching through Emmanuel's ground, we are marching through Emmanuel's ground to fairer worlds on high, to fairer worlds on. Oh, let's march, we are marching to Zion, beautiful, beautiful Zion. We are marching upward to heavenly Zion, the beautiful. Oh, we are marching, let's march then. Oh, we are marching to Zion, beautiful, beautiful. We are marching upward to heavenly Zion, the beautiful city of God. We're going to sing one more. And if it's Brain Health Month, I think we should sing 529, don't you think? I think we should sing 529. You're going to love this one, Dr. Castro. Promise you we will. Under his wings. The only way we could avoid a lot of these things, these things, the brain problem, is staying under his wings. And even under his wings, we could, under his wings, I'm safely abiding. Though the night deepens and a tempest are wild. Under his wings, I am safely abiding. Though the night deepens and a tempest are wild, still I can trust him. I know he will keep me. He has redeemed me, and I am his child. Under his wings, under his wings, who from his love can sever? Under his wings, my soul shall abide, safely abide forever. Under his wings, what a refuge. Under his wings, what a refuge in a sorrow. How the heart yearningly turns to its rest. Often when earth has no balm for my healing, there I find comfort, and there I am blessed. Under his wings, who from his love can sever? Under his wings, my soul shall abide, safely abide forever. Under his wings, oh what precious! Under his wings, oh what precious enjoyment! There will I hide till life's trials are o'er. Sheltered, protect, sheltered, protected, sheltered, protected. No evil can harm me. Sheltered, protected. No evil can harm me. Resting in Jesus, I'm a safe ever. Under his wings, under his wings, under his wings. Who from his love can sever? Under his wings, under his wings, my soul shall
may
abide forever. So we got to sing a merry heart. A merry heart. Anybody got a merry heart? Wave your hand if you have a merry heart. A merry heart, a merry heart. Medicine, it's like medicine. It's a merry heart, but a broken spirit dries up the bones.
Dry up the bones.
A merry heart, do it good like a man. A merry heart, a merry heart. Do it good like a medicine, like a medicine. It's a merry heart, but a broken spirit dries up the bones.
Dry up the bones.
A merry heart, do it good like a medicine. So now it's it's time to introduce Dr. Castro. Dr. Castro, could you stand so the people could see the pretty tiny doctor? Right now we don't have the bio on Dr. Castro. Dr. Castro is internal medicine. Go to her. You can't get business
if you
from
get
her.
hospitalized.
Oh, we don't,
okay.
and that's it. So we're not going to see you. We don't, yeah.
We're gonna avoid
So
that.
Dr. Castro is going to be our presenter for today. She's an MD, so you can safely call her Dr. Castro. And
Sebastian.
Dr. Sebastian. Sebastian, could you please? And this is the man behind the beautiful Dr. Castro, and that's Noel.
And that's Noel.
Noel, and that's the boss of the house. Noel is the boss. And let's give Dr. Castro and family a round of applause, please. She is going to be our presenter. She is an MD, a physician at Kings County Internal Medicine. So any question you have, even if it's not confined to brain health, dementia, you can ask Dr. Castro. If it's diabetes, whatever else, you could ask. And she's well prepared. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you. All right, so it's gonna
That's the laser.
forward and this is forward and back?
Yeah.
Okay, great, thank you. All right. Right. Oops. Sorry about this bar here if I can't see all of you, but good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for welcoming me. And also thank you. I just want to do a shout out to Dr. Denham who invited me here as well. Hmm? Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think so. I hope so. Okay, I'm good. Okay. All right, great. So I'm Dr. Castro Ove. I'm the Director of Hospital Medicine at Kings County, and I will be discussing dementia and how to support brain health by identifying modifiable risk factors, such as diet, lifestyle, and exercise. So I have a question. What percentage of dementia cases in the United States may be preventable or delayable through modifiable risk factors, such as diet, lifestyle, and exercise? Can you throw out some guesses? What percentage of dementia cases are actually can be preventable or delayed? 50? It's actually, according to the American Medical Association, it's 41%. So 41%, so pretty close. All right, so there's nothing we want more than to prevent or reduce the likelihood of disease whenever possible, rather than being reactive, and we will get into how we can do that. Many factors can affect brain health, including age-related changes in the brain, injuries such as a stroke, mood disorders, substance abuse disorders, and obviously diseases such as Alzheimer's dementia. Regarding age-related changes, I could tell you I'm going through perimenopause and I feel that I'm losing things a lot more often, and I have to keep my cell phone on an actual leash so I don't keep losing it. So what I'm trying to say is that as we age, we can expect to forget things now and then. Okay, so today we'll explore the different types of dementia, early warning signs, diagnostic pathways, treatment options, and how Kings County Hospital supports patients and caregivers. Dementia is a major public health concern, and community partnerships are vital. All right, let's see if I can do this. Okay, here we go. I'm just a little bit, and I just want to take a step back and talk about Kings County a little bit. We're a proud member of one of the 11 acute care facilities of NYC Health and Hospitals, of the nation's largest municipal public health system. We were built in 1831 as a one-room public infirmary that supported care for the sick. Today, Kings County continues to be a leading healthcare facility with over 600 beds in operation and is a world-renowned level 1 trauma center, which is one of 2 in Brooklyn, and it serves 2.7 million residents. So our centers of excellence include service to people with diabetes, stroke, and Parkinson's disease. We also have a cardio-obstetrics program led by an amazing cardiologist and friend, Dr. Suzette Graham-Hill. We are also very proud to have a behavioral health center, and we are academically affiliated with SUNY Downstate Medical Center. All right, so the data on the bottom right is some information on our patient demographics. So 79% of our patients are Black or African American. About 65% of our patients are 18 to 64 years old. And the top 3 languages spoken is English, Haitian Creole, and Spanish. We have approximately 8,800 employees, and we delivered 1,100 babies in 2024. Yeah, we're very proud of delivering 1,100 babies last year. Okay. All right, so as mentioned earlier, we'll begin with an overview of dementia, then move into clinical details, risk factors, and community impact. Next, I'll explain our multidisciplinary care model, including screening, medical management, behavioral health, and caregiver support. Finally, we'll discuss how the community can partner with us to improve outcomes. Here. So clinically, dementia refers to a group of conditions causing progressive cognitive decline, severe enough to interfere with daily functions. So that's really the most important point. You can forget, it's okay to forget a few things sometimes, but if it's interfering with daily functioning, then we ask that you come in and see your primary care physician and get screened. Major types include Alzheimer's disease, which is about 60 to 80% of cases, vascular dementia, which is caused by impaired blood flow. There's something called Lewy body dementia, which is characterized by fluctuating thinking and visual hallucinations. And there's frontotemporal dementia, which affects behavior, language, and executive function. It's important to emphasize that dementia is not an inevitable part of aging. It's not, yes, it's very important to remember that. So in Alzheimer's, there's an abnormal protein buildup called amyloid plaques and tau tangles in the brain. In vascular dementia, this occurs in conditions that damage blood vessels in the brain, restricting blood flow and oxygen seen in uncontrolled diabetes, high cholesterol, and high blood pressure. So vascular dementia symptoms can be similar to Alzheimer's, and they can have a sudden onset right after a stroke. So the treatments often focus on managing the underlying condition and preventing future strokes. In Lewy body dementia, there are deposits of protein called Lewy bodies, and they accumulate in the brain. In frontotemporal dementia, it's less common, but it actually affects parts of the brain and it often occurs in younger ages, and it impacts personality, behavior, and language rather than memory. There's no specific drugs that treat frontotemporal dementia, but drugs and therapy can help manage its symptoms. There's also mixed dementia, which is basically a combination of 2 or more types, most commonly Alzheimer's and vascular. There's Huntington's dementia, which is hereditary. It's caused by a gene mutation. And there's Parkinson's dementia, and it's basically associated with Parkinson's disease. There's Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome, and that's a chronic memory disorder caused by severe vitamin B1 deficiency. So what common symptoms do we tend to see in dementia? Could people throw out some common symptoms that you think you might see in dementia? Forgetfulness? Exactly. Exactly. Things that used to be you were able to do before you're starting to struggle with. So common symptoms vary by the dementia type and stage, but include short-term memory loss, difficulty planning or problem solving, challenges with complex tasks. You get disoriented, like you mentioned. You kind of lose a sense of place and time. You have impaired judgment, and you have changes. You can have changes in your personality and mood, and in your social behavior. So yeah, these little, it's too small for you to see, but yeah, you have loss of initiative, changes in personality, changes in mood behavior, difficult performing tasks that used to be familiar to you. You're misplacing things or putting them in inappropriate places, but I do that. But if you're doing it like every day to the point that, you're leaving the what do you call it, the oven on, that's and the key in the door and doing it a lot like every day, that's when you need to check in with your doctor. Huh? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Mm-hmm.
We have them, yeah. So I have a question. I don't know if
Yes.
you can get to it at all, but if I'm jumping
Yeah,
ahead.
this is going to be a long
No,
presentation.
no,
Go
please,
ahead,
please
go
take
for
as
it.
much time as you need, because
Yeah.
I find this
Okay.
interesting.
Okay.
So my question is dementia something that is developed over time, or can it be hereditary?
Exactly. That's exactly it. So exactly as you say, some of it is hereditary, unfortunately. Things like Huntington's disease, people find that Alzheimer's could have genetic links, but things that are kind of modifiable that you could avoid are things like vascular dementia, because essentially it's from a stroke. So what things causes a stroke? High cholesterol, diabetes, high blood pressure. And then in other types of dementias, like you could have a reversible type, which is a vitamin deficiency. So when you come in to see your primary care doctor, you mention to them your symptoms and they'll do like we'll get into their like how they evaluate you and stuff, but they'll order lab tests to see if you have any deficiencies that are reversible. Sometimes it's a vitamin deficiency. That's a great question. All right. Okay, so so here we go. Next slide. Sorry. I need reading glasses. So, Brooklyn's aging population is growing, which increases the prevalence of dementia. Many individuals have coexisting medical conditions, such as what are the ones I talked about? Exactly. Excellent. Which we know elevates the dementia risk. So caregivers face significant emotional, financial, and time burden. Community resources must grow to meet these rising needs. Mhm.
It gently.
Yes, good.
Some of us,
Mhm. Yeah.
some of us have some of the conditions.
Yeah.
Just,
Mhm. Mhm.
but take medication.
Mm.
We take a combination.
Oh, okay. All right.
So my question is,
Okay.
are we
Mhm.
ourselves to what you're
Yes.
talking about?
Yes, you can end up, if you don't, I don't, I'm not clear on the studies on how Bush might affect your blood pressure or cholesterol or diabetes, but it's very clear, like if the sugars are elevated in your body, which are out of control, this is what I like to explain my patients with diabetes. Like think about in your your body's like an apartment building with like pipes. Those are the blood vessels. And if you have diabetes, the sugar level in your body is very elevated all the time. And just think that in pipes, if something is high in concentration for a long time, over years and years, like your sugars are above 125 sustained, the sugar starts depositing in all your blood vessels and all the pipes in your body. And over time, diabetes with buildup of cholesterol, those pipes get blocked. And when there's a blockage, that causes a stroke, that causes a heart attack, that causes poor circulation in your legs. So your blood vessels go everywhere. It provides oxygen and red blood cells to everything. So when you start blocking your blood vessels due to high cholesterol and high sugar for a very long period of time, they're going to get blocked. Like it's just going to catch up with you. And this is something that's actually a risk factor that you can address. And high blood pressure too. So think about it with high blood pressure. And I love to say this too to my patients. One of the bad things about high blood pressure, it doesn't cause pain. And it makes sense because if you're stressed out and your blood pressure needs to be high sometimes because you need to run, you don't want to have pain. Your body won't let you feel pain. But if you're just hanging out and your blood pressure is high, and high is like above 140 over 90, think about pipes in a building over time. Like what happens to those pipes? Years and years of high blood pressure. And they'll manifest as like blurriness in vision. You might get headaches. You might feel lightheaded for a while, but it doesn't cause pain. And usually people react more when you feel pain, and then you tend to want to take something. But with high blood pressure, it's one of those things that are kind of like a silent killer. Okay.
We should take the medicine.
Take your meds. And it's not only medications, it's also lifestyle and exercise. We're going to get into diet. That's my favorite part. My favorite part. Okay. So, okay. Okay. Mhm.
How old you can be diagnosed with dementia? How old a person can diagnose?
How old? I mean, your lifetime risk, they say, as per the Alzheimer's Association, starting at the age of 45, if you're a female, 1 out of every 5 women have a risk of developing Alzheimer's dementia, and 1 in 10 for men. So actually, women are more likely, unfortunately, to develop dementia than men. I don't want to scare you, but it's just, I don't want to scare, but they're modifiable, and we're going to talk about this. There's like changes we could make. We could all do better. New Year's coming, but you don't have to wait till New Year. But there are things we can do to reduce your risk. Yeah. And there's medications that, thank goodness, we have available. Could you imagine like 30, 40 years ago, we don't have meds that would have dealt with our blood pressure and cholesterol and diabetes the way they do now. Mm-hmm.
But is there a difference between Alzheimer's and dementia? Because in some patients, we realize that they will tell you this person is suffering from Alzheimer's,
Mm-hmm.
and that person is so calm, just the forgetfulness.
Yes.
And another case, it will be very terrible. What causes it?
Yeah, like it depends on the severity, because going back specifically, we'll go to the different types of dementia. Alzheimer's specifically, studies have showed there's an abnormal proteins that they're called amyloid deposits and tau proteins. They unfortunately accumulate in your brain, and then they cause like deposits in your brain that affects how you think. So a lot of the medications that we're going to get into later addresses some of those things. And there's a lot of new advances right now, amazing advances in Alzheimer's care that have been proven. If you identify it early and start the treatment early, you could really slow the progression of disease. But everyone's going to be in a different stage of dementia depending on how far along it got. And so that we're talking about Alzheimer's for that one friend you might have, but another person could have dementia because they have a B1 deficiency, or they could have had a mild stroke, that kind of thing. Or they could have had Lewy body dementia, which is a different type of protein that accumulates in the brain. So there are a lot of different things that can cause dementia.
We have another question.
Mhm. And this can be diagnosed with, when you see your doctor. Yeah. Uh-huh. Which one? Which one? It's Alzheimer's. I don't know that it's reversible, but there are medications that slow the progression. Yeah, like right now, there's no official cure, but thinking back to what's causing Alzheimer's are these proteins, these like specific proteins that studies are showing. They're called amyloid proteins and tau proteins. If you start experiencing any sort of symptoms that we mentioned, get screened, and then your doctor will check you out for vitamin deficiency, thyroid problems. If you have a thyroid disorder and you're not taking your thyroid medication, that could cause a form of dementia. So there are a lot of things that could cause memory loss. But your doctor would then diagnose it. And then if it happens to be Alzheimer's, if it's mild, we can start you on some medications, or you could be enrolled in these new trials, which are really amazing. It's like an IV medication that you get once a month. And it's basically antibodies that attack these plaques in your brain, and it has your own immune system killing the abnormal protein for you. I hope that explains it. Anyway.
Common cause
Mhm.
dementia is Alzheimer's.
Yes.
Alzheimer and
No, Alzheimer's is dementia. Alzheimer's, so dementia is like an umbrella term, and it's basically just saying it's representing loss of memory and other thinking abilities severe enough to interfere with daily life. So dementia is like a term that can cover Alzheimer's. It could cover like dementia related to a stroke. Yeah, like it's a blanket term. So like dementia is just describing someone has a loss of memory and other thinking abilities, and it's affecting them every day. Yeah. But I mean, I get it. Like everyone wants the black and white definition, but it's kind of like an umbrella term. But once you get screened and then your doctor works you up, then they can figure out what you've got and then address it.
Yeah, so I know that we always typically associate dementia with aging, but why is it that dementia always starts around 45 and you never see it in like younger people?
Say it again.
So I know we like typically associate dementia with like older people and slowly aging, but why is it that it always starts around 45 or when someone gets older and you never see it in younger people?
So I believe because it's like the accumulation of these proteins in the brain, they probably have started accumulating when you're younger, but not to the point that you actually start experiencing symptoms from it. Like it's accumulated enough over time that you would pick it up only when there's a certain amount affecting your brain. Yeah, that's how I would think about it. But I'm not a neurologist, so I would also defer to our neurologists who are the specialists in this. Yeah. All right. All right. So, okay, caregiver. Okay, so I've kind of lost where I was. Okay, so, oh yeah, caregivers face significant emotional, financial, and time burden. So there are community resources must grow to meet these rising needs. Sorry, I think I lost where I am. Let me go to my next. Okay. Oh, I'm going to go here a little bit. So sorry. Who can be a caregiver? A caregiver is anyone who provides help to another person in need. So a caregiver could be a friend or family member. It could be a doctor, a nurse, an aide. So as a caregiver, you're likely to experience stress and frustration when dealing with individuals with dementia, especially when it's a loved one. These feelings can have a long-term effect on the caregiver, resulting in depression, decreased quality of life, physical illness. This not only affects the caregiver, but the quality of care that the caregiver is providing to the person with dementia. So that's why here's a list of other organizations that provides education and support for the caregiver that are caring for a person with dementia. Because we know that you may feel like you're alone, but you're not alone. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. You can't sleep, and it's stressful, and it's a loved one. And so that's why it's really important to, check out these websites. I really love the Alzheimer's Association website because they have tips for caregivers and what you can do for yourself. Because if you don't, you have to take care of yourself to be able to care for others. Yes, yes, absolutely. It's so stressful. It's a love, especially if it's a loved one or a friend you're caring for. I mean, you're worried 24/7. And so everyone appreciates that. So there are a lot of resources that can provide support that you can find. Okay, so brain health. Okay, so brain health in general, it refers to the ability of how your brain functions across 4 domains. So it's basically how do you process information? How do you interpret and respond to emotions? How do you control your movement and balance? And what are your 5 senses? Do you guys remember your 5 senses? Smell, taste, touch, hearing, touch, and seeing. Okay, I think we got them all, right? Okay. Noelle, my daughter. Okay, yeah. Eyes, nose, mouth. Okay, we went through it. Okay. Oh, all right. All right. So let's focus on what we can control. The modifiable risk factors for dementia. Clinically, we know regular physical activity increases cerebral blood flow and supports neuroplasticity. So what is increased physical activity? So we generally like to recommend doing 30 minutes of an activity every day that gets your heart rate up. 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Don't go crazy and do like 7 days a week. And don't go hardcore the first day and hurt yourself. So I think easy ways to start with like 30 minutes of increased physical activity would be try walking instead of taking the bus, or try taking the stairs. Just, if you're walking and you don't have a lot of arthritic pain and no risk for falls, like try to walk fast. Try to walk as much as possible, really. If you can bike, but be safe, wear a helmet. So, okay, so, sorry. Okay, physically, okay. A Mediterranean diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, healthy fats, and lean proteins is associated with slower cognitive decline. I'll give you more detail on what is called the MIND diet a few slides later. It's my favorite slide. It's tough, but it's good. Okay. Also, we know that social engagement and cognitively stimulating activities like playing chess, dominoes, cards, Sudoku, crossword puzzles, they strengthen your brain. All right. All right. So it's important to take a holistic approach. You're aiming to identify and treat the root causes of the disease rather than just managing symptoms. So risk reduction strategies include smoking cessation, so quit smoking, and you got to limit alcohol use. So what is that? So the US dietary guidelines say up to 1 drink per day for women and up to 2 drinks per day for men, but no more than 10 standard drinks a week. Managing blood pressure. So the water's the best. Yeah, put some lemon in it. That helps me. It took me a long time to get into water, but you just put lemon in it or carbonate it or something. So managing blood pressure. What is the goal blood pressure? Do you guys know that you want to, what you're shooting for? Yeah, that is like the best. 120 over 80, you are golden. But right now we're less than 140 over 90. So if you come into clinic and your blood pressure is sustained, always over 140 over 90, you're going to get a talk, and we're going to ask you to change your lifestyle, change your diet, try to do more activities. After 3 months, if your blood pressure hasn't improved, you're going to get started on some medications to help you. And just think of it as they are effective if you take them. I know it's a pain in the butt to take, but if you take them, they are effective, and they can prevent stroke and other problems.
So if your blood pressure is not consistently 140 over 90, does that mean you don't have to be on medication?
If you have,
If
you
it's
ha-
not consistently
yeah, well,
140.
if you have, okay, so just to get into the nitty gritty, since you're asking, if you have diabetes, if you had a stroke or a heart attack, then we would prefer less than 130 over 80.
Okay.
So if you have like high risk factors, if you already had a stroke, if you already had a heart attack, if you have diabetes, let's shoot for less than 130 over 80. And really just think about why. Like think about your apartment building as with pipes, and you don't feel pain when the blood pressure is high. You only find out when you get it checked and you're like, oh my God, it's 150 over or 200, like 180. Your body's like living with chronic high blood pressure, but you don't feel the pain. And then you only start feeling things when those pipes start stressing out. And your heart is at the end of those pipes. So what's been happening all this time that the pressure has been high is your heart has been pumping under such high pressure, and this heart has been pumping since you were born. So as you get older, think about this muscle, it's getting tired, and if you make it get tired, you're going to develop heart failure. And then that's when you get started on like a bunch of medications, which are great. Like if you have it, you're diagnosed, you take your meds. Studies have shown that your blood pressure improves, the heart gets stronger. But I do appreciate the fact that taking meds is difficult.
Blood pressure gets too low. What should we do?
What is too low?
Like under the rate of 120 over 70.
I mean, if you're like 120 over 60, 115, like, and you feel fine, you're fine. If you start feeling lightheaded and, like woozy, then it's too low.
So if 98
But,
over
but
58,
we're shooting,
Mhm.
okay, so 98, what some people, everyone's different. And some
Mhm.
people live with 90 over 60. Some people just live like that. Like they say that ultimately, if you want to get into pressures that make sure all your organs are getting blood flow, we look at something, I don't want to get too technical, but just that if you're not symptomatic and your blood pressure is 90 over 60, then you're fine. But if you feel like you're dizzy, lightheaded, then yeah, you can't be, especially if you're on blood pressure pills, we're just shooting for you to be less than depending if you had a heart attack or stroke, 130 over 80, less than 130 over 80. And keep a logbook. If you're not sure, the best thing is to have a logbook. Write the date, the time, and try to be consistent when you take your blood pressure recording, because your blood pressure, as you know, will fluctuate throughout the day. If you just finished going up the stairs, if you finished eating, your blood pressure is going to go up and down. So try to do it. The proper way to do it, believe it or not, is you got to sit for 5 minutes, like literally sit for 5 minutes. Ideally, you shouldn't have had coffee, and then you take your blood pressure, and then you record it, and then you bring the logbook for your doctor to see when you see them. Okay. I'm keep losing where I am. Wait, sorry. Okay, so reducing cholesterol, high blood. If you improve your sugar control, reduce stress, treat sleeping disorders, maintain a healthy weight. Although these measures do not eliminate dementia risk, they have been shown to delay onset or slow progression. So also addressing hearing loss is increasingly recognized as a key intervention. Hearing loss. Yeah, if you notice, it doesn't cause dementia, but it exacerbates your symptoms. So if you're hard of hearing and you don't get checked and you don't get hearing aids, then it's going to affect how your brain processes things. So definitely, address that. If you feel like you're not hearing anything, see your primary care doctor. You might get a hearing test just to see if there's anything going on there. Okay, so this is the diet part, the mind part. So the mind diet, it's a combination of two well-researched diets, the Mediterranean diet and the DASH diet. The DASH diet is short for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension. So the mind diet highlights leafy greens, high in antioxidants, berries, nuts, beans, and whole grains, while limiting foods high in you're limiting foods high in saturated fats such as butter, cheese, and red meat. And I could tell you in my household, it's a challenge because my husband's French and I'm Filipino, and we love our red meat and cheese and my Filipino food. Everything is fried. I mean, but you know, this is what they're recommending. So the key components of a MIND diet: at least 3 servings daily of whole grains. Do you guys know which I had to actually look up all the whole grains. Do you guys know what are whole grains? Corn, yes, very good. Corn, brown rice, whole wheat, barley, quinoa. So at least 3 servings daily of whole grains, at least 1 dark green salad and 1 other vegetable every day, at least 1 ounce serving of nuts every day. Oh, exact. Yes, you're okay. 1 ounce, 1 ounce. But my daughter wants me to highlight not if you have allergies. Okay, she reminded me to tell everyone if you have allergies to any of these, you can't take them. So 1 ounce every day of nuts, berries at least twice a week, poultry at least twice a week, and fish at least once a week. Beans or legumes at least every other day, and use olive oil. That's your go-to oil if you're going to cook with anything. The food groups to limit: red meat. So that includes beef, pork, and lamb, and you got to eat that less than 4 times a week. And I know, no more than 1 tablespoon a day of butter or margarine. And then with cheese, fried food, and fast food, no more than once a week. And then you're to limit pastries and sweets to less than 5 times a week. You know, the good thing about this, it's not saying never eat these things. It's just saying everything in moderation and portion control. So if you're going to be bad Thanksgiving, the holidays are coming, then maybe the 2 weeks after, then you tell yourself, okay, I went over what's, my serving should have been, but maybe in the next 2 weeks, you kind of spread it out. Yeah. Yeah.
I have a question. Well, more over a comment, but I want to see if it's accurate or not. So I know that so certain fats, right, or fatty acids, right, they contribute to hormone production in the brain.
Yes.
And since we're dealing with dementia,
Yeah.
would you recommend that our healthy fats consumption should something that we should pay closer attention to or add or have, like
Yes.
omega-3s or omega,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that's it. Omega, exactly.
Right.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we should. So how would we aim to implement that into our diet
Okay.
for the production of the hormones in the brain?
That's an excellent question. So that's, I believe, why they threw in the fish, because I always like to, instead of taking supplements and going to BJ's or Costco or something, just try to get it naturally from natural foods. So if you want to, that's exactly why they're saying fish at least once a week. So if you want to increase your fish intake, grill the fish, love branzino, that's so easy. You just have to put olive oil, literally olive oil and a little dash of salt, and that's our go-to, and you cook it in 10 minutes in the oven. So yeah, exactly. You're absolutely right. Omega-3 is excellent. It's an excellent fat to have. All right. Yeah. No, I did buy them, but they say a study shows supplements in high doses actually aren't helpful. So it always goes back, I believe, to everything in moderation, just, okay. So I really like this slide because it kind of touches on, age. What's the difference between age-related forgetfulness or signs of dementia? So age-related forgetfulness is making a bad decision once in a while, missing a monthly payment, forgetting which day it is and remembering later, sometimes forgetting which word to use, losing things from time to time. That's age-related forgetfulness. That's just part of life. Signs of dementia is making poor judgments and decisions a lot of the time, like every day, like a couple of times during the day. Problems taking care of monthly bills. Like it's okay to miss one bill, but if, you're having serious problems. Yeah. Losing track of the date or time of year, trouble having a conversation, misplacing things often and being unable to find them. I mean, that's mean, I have that problem. Okay. So let's see, sorry. So go to the next. Uh-huh.
So,
Mhm.
because these things are for age that forget.
Yeah,
If you notice that you're not
yes,
is it possible that you can find that these things are common,
yes.
but the person that's doing it thinks that they're totally fine?
Oh, absolutely. Like, no, and that's where the behavior changes come in. I see it with my father. My father is 80 and, he's forgetful. He lost his fanny pack. He loses things all the time. And when I'm there, like I would feel the same way, frustrated, upset, cranky. It's frustrating to forget things and then being told by your friends and family, like, hey, my mom keeps like, that's it, you got Alzheimer's. But I think the best thing to do is get screened for it. And there's like, we're going to get there's screening tests. Oh, here, yeah. So I'm just getting to that right now. So it's important to realize that screening and diagnosis for dementia rely on several tools. It's not just one test. So at Kings County, we use a patient-centered multidisciplinary approach, early identification, which means you guys coming in to get seen or seeing your primary care doctor, allows us to begin, screen. And then if we find something, we could begin treatment sooner. We can plan care effectively and support families. Our memory assessment services include a neuroevaluation, a geriatric assessment, psychiatric screening, and social work support. We also collaborate with the primary care to do the initial screening. So the primary care doctors do the initial screening, and it's called a mini mental status exam or something called a MOCA test. And they'll start out with that and see how you score. And if you score showing signs of potential cognitive dementia, then they'll run some tests. So getting into the test, there are laboratory tests. First, we have a dementia panel where we look for reversible causes of dementia. And those would be your thyroid. If you're hypothyroid and you need to be on a thyroid medication, it could be a vitamin deficiency. You could have advanced syphilis, and that's like a quick, you could just be put on penicillin. And so there are more advanced tests that are called biomarkers. And these biomarkers actually measure in your blood or in the fluid that surrounds your brain, looking for those proteins that we see accumulate in Alzheimer's. There's also imaging like CT scans, MRIs, or PET scans to assess structural changes. So looking for a stroke or looking for brain shrinkage or any other damage. We also do a functional status exam, and we check your behavioral symptoms, and we check for safety concerns. Okay, so here are the medications. So this slide shows some of the FDA-approved medications to treat Alzheimer's, Lewy body, and vascular dementia. So the frontline treatment are medicines called cholinesterase inhibitors. They're called donepezil, rivastigmine, and galantamine. They basically increase it increases levels of a chemical messenger involved in memory and judgment in mild to moderate Alzheimer's, and they can be prescribed for people with vascular dementia and Lewy body dementia. There's another medication called memantine, which regulates the activity of a chemical called glutamate. It's another chemical messenger involved in brain functions that affect learning and memory. Sometimes the medications memantine with the other three that I mentioned get combined in a pill if your neurologist recommends it. The IV medications that I mentioned to you on the bottom, there's these new IV infusion medications approved for early Alzheimer's to slow the progression of the disease itself. These types of drugs are antibodies that target the proteins doing the damage in your brain in the hopes that they'll stimulate your brain's immune system to clear them up. Right, so we're at the clinical team. Okay, so our clinical team includes primary care physicians who perform screening for dementia. We have the neurologist who would be prescribing those medications that I went through. There's geriatricians who specialize in complex older adults, psychiatrists for behavioral symptoms, social workers for psychosocial needs, and care managers who coordinate these services. This team approach is essential. Behavioral and psychological symptoms of dementia, such as agitation, anxiety, depression, hallucinations, and sleep disturbances, are common. Kings County integrates our behavioral health team to manage these symptoms through non-pharmacologic interventions and medications when appropriate. So we like to emphasize minimizing polypharmacy and provide counseling services and using safer alternatives, which could be occupational and physical therapy. And occupational and physical therapy really helps individuals manage daily tasks, maintain cognitive function for as long as possible, and improve overall quality of life. Long-term planning is critical. We counsel families on advanced care directives, guardianship, long-term care insurance. We also discuss goals of care early and revisit them throughout the disease course. Clear planning reduces crises and improves quality of life. So I'm going to re-emphasize caregiver support as a cornerstone of dementia care. We offer education on behavioral management, safety strategies, medication adherence, and self-care. We have social workers that help families navigate benefits, community programs, and respite care options. So here for the caregivers, make time for a hobby for you to enjoy. Go to sleep a half hour earlier if you can. Take a short walk outside. It is like gorgeous, right now walking outside. Try a yoga class. Like I didn't discover yoga till I was so upset at myself for not having tried yoga in my teens or 20s. Yoga is incredible. Meet a friend for lunch and join a support group. You are not alone.
Some of those things you say not realistic. Nobody want to stay with my patient so I could go for a walk.
Wait, what?
Nobody want to stay with my patient for me so I could take a walk.
Oh, yeah. Like for you, like how would you get the support, the caregiver support?
Yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out, right, Sister Agnes?
Or
So,
can
yeah.
you take a walk with
the patient?
Yeah, with the
The
patient.
patient could walk?
That's actually you got to get them out, get fresh air, get them moving.
Oh, yeah,
Actually,
true. And it's scary outside.
don't run, but just walk around the park if possible. Yeah. I mean, yeah, comfortable shoes. That's key. That's key. But it's gorgeous out. We've really been lucky with the weather. All right. So, it's important to show you that there's a safety checklist available for caregivers on the Alzheimer's Association website that we highly recommend. So if you go on the website, it has a little checklist for you to go through, evaluate your environment, keep the bedroom, kitchen, bathroom safety hazards, make sure the rugs are secure so they don't slip. Be prepared for emergencies, kind of have a plan in your mind if there's an emergency, who you're going to call, have your medication list available. If, God forbid, you have to come to the hospital, just have your meds, a med list ready to give. So it's really easy for the doctors and the nurses to put it into the system. Make sure your safety devices at home are working, like fire alarms, carbon monoxide alarms. Make sure the walkways and rooms are well lit. And watch the food and water temperature. Like if you're feeding somebody, you check sometimes we forget to check.
So I think that, I don't know, there's some myths and facts about dementia that I think that it's good for us to decipher.
Yeah.
One being, in your opinion, what is the worst development of dementia that can be? Because I've heard, I don't know if this is true, that a worst case, if gone untreated, right, things could occur, like they could forget even how to breathe, right? Or I don't know if that's true, or also they could get so paranoid that they don't recall the person or they don't recall the caregiver.
Yeah,
and they could get it could lead to a whole bunch of other things.
Yeah, that's probably the worst thing I could imagine. I mean, I personally once someone is unfortunately is diagnosed with Alzheimer's, dementia in advance, it's typically the neurologist taking care of it. But to your point, like I could only imagine if you hit that point where you can't remember who you are, who's around you, the amount of stress, like studies show stress, chronic stress also increases blood pressure, reduces your life expectancy. So things like any way to kind of reduce stress is important. But probably the worst manifestation is like, yeah, completely forgetting and not remembering anyone or anything. About the not breathing, I'm not so sure. But you could aspirate, like if you're having a panic attack or you're freaking out, or if you have a sleeping disorder. Some people have sleep apnea. Sometimes, like if you sleep apnea, sometimes you might require a CPAP machine at night. And if you don't have that CPAP machine and you're at night when you're sleeping, you don't breathe in and out correctly, and you start retaining carbon dioxide. That carbon dioxide builds up in your body, and it could cause you to first of all, it'll increase your blood pressure. It causes hypertension, and you can actually maybe aspirate, like the contents in your mouth accidentally go into your lungs instead of back into your stomach. The complications of it, So yes, actually, because Alzheimer's, it affects your mind, but then your mind is connected to the rest of your body. So if you're not then eating appropriately for yourself, and everything falls on your caregiver, and then you're become malnourished, you're not active, you can have blood clots, then you develop all of those underlying things like hypertension, high cholesterol, heart attack, or infection. Yeah. That's an excellent point. Accidents. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can't find them. And
Yep.
sometimes they get into accidents.
Absolutely. That's a great point. Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point. So yeah, but they have the bands that are helpful for assistance. But I think, okay, so we're going to get to what can the community do? So we all play an important role in dementia-friendly environments. So we have to reduce the stigma and encourage earlier recognition and diagnosis. That's the key. So I love a quote from Mr. Rogers. He says, anything mentionable is manageable. So if we don't acknowledge it, we're not going to treat it. So supporting the caregivers, watching out for your loved ones. If you're starting to be concerned about them, bring them in to see a doctor and get checked. Participate in local programs and promote healthy lifestyles that we've discussed will all contribute to better outcomes.
Hello, excuse me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why do dementia people get violent, like very violent? Like why?
Yeah, so sometimes it's out of frustration, because if you can imagine, your memory just goes and you have no idea where you are, and you start freaking out, and you don't know if, who could have been your partner is a stranger to you. You could think that, or there are also parts of your brain that if it happens to be Alzheimer's or a stroke and it impacts that part of the brain, it will make you more paranoid. So it's also dependent on what parts of your brain get affected. Yeah. But then we can also have medications that help. And that the violence part is, then it's very important to have behavioral therapists help with that support, like having therapy. Yeah. Yeah, well, we're talking if studies like advanced, that if it's advanced, then it's all supportive care. But the whole point is that we want to catch it early so we could start you on medications to stop the progression or delay the progression. That's the goal. And then remember, a lot of them are due to strokes, and strokes happen from high blood pressure, high cholesterol, uncontrolled diabetes. And there's medications and lifestyle changes and diet changes we have to do. And it's hard. I totally get it.
I believe it's the hippocampus
Mhm.
that deals with memory retention in the brain.
Yes.
Is it? I mean, is it? I don't know. Is it possible that core memories that are within the hippocampus of the brain
Mhm.
can those be altered as well, or
Mhm.
can they be brought up again via certain actions from the caregiver? That those core memories can be revisited and maybe they get some sense of normalcy again, or
Yeah, that's a tough question to answer. That talks about something we call like neuroplasticity, the waxing and waning. And I think if it comes down to what part of your brain did the stroke happen or did these abnormal proteins build up in? And that's why, yeah, with memory and hippocampus, like you find yeah, it'll be a waxing and waning illness. Like I can't say the memories will never come back because they can come back one day. One day you'll have a period of lucidity. I'm thinking about the movie The Notebook all of a sudden. But yeah, like with the nervous system, these things are not like black and white. It's always um, in between and something that waxes and wanes. Yeah.
This young man, he was speaking to me, his mom.
Uh-huh.
He's so frustrated. He cannot take her to church anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, he used to look forward to taking his mom to church.
Mhm.
But what has been happening, and you know, I think I was too scared to tell him the truth. She probably needed help.
Yeah.
But I think next time I see him, I would try to gingerly say it might be too late.
Mhm.
So in church, he would just tell anybody
Mhm.
anything that comes to her mind.
Mhm.
Dear God, don't let that be me, please, when I get older. So everybody now is taking issue with his mom. Everybody is nobody wants to speak to mom anymore. So mom doesn't have any friends.
Oh.
And I feel real badly for him because, you know, he would, you know, used to look forward to carrying her out and, you
Yeah.
know, so now nobody is speaking to mom anymore. What's
I
going to
mean,
happen?
he needs help. It sounds like he has what I would, which is I would totally get it. Like, thank you, caregiver, stress and burnout. Like, and basically, he needs s- to get the support he needs. Like, I know we have social workers in the hospital. I don't know how it works in clinics, but sometimes when people are very advanced and there's respite facilities that you can consider.
Yeah.
Have him bring him into the primary care clinic and have them look into respite care because sometimes it's true. It's like it's very far along, things are progressing, and then it's all supportive care. But then, yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
So I know that you touched briefly on caregiver burnout and support for caregivers,
Mhm.
but what advice would you give to the caregiver themselves? Because many caregivers had to put their lives on hold to take
Mhm.
care of someone, especially a family member who has dementia.
Yeah.
And I've heard stories of people just leaving their loved ones in the hospital because they're just
Yeah.
so frustrated with having to care for them.
Mhm.
So what advice would you give them to balance, their personal lives and
Mhm.
also the lives of like the older person with dementia? Because it's not like it turns off.
Exactly.
Like like you said earlier, if they can't sleep, you can't sleep. So it's not like at night you can maybe do something. So
I'm gonna here, like take a screen, like take a photo. These are groups: the New York Memory Center, PSS, Alzheimer's Association, the NIH. All of these Sunnyside communities, like they're if you Google like caregiver dementia New York City, there's so many support groups that I would reach out to, and they have tips. They've been there, done that. So I would go online and contact these support groups because they have checklists. They'll be able to help you navigate through this. Yeah, you're not alone. That's why I thought it was so important to put the slide up because there's a wealth of information for caregivers and what you can do in the support groups. Like I even see them, like they have support group, they set them up in like different locations all over New York. and then you can exchange what and share. But I wish I had more to tell, more granular information, but I would go to a support group.
I could vouch for the New York Memory Center. It's located in Brooklyn. And they did some partnership with my facility where I work at. So they have support groups there, and they also have respite care. And it's a center where the person could come. It's like a day center that they could come and get support there and everything. And what I really like about that center is that I don't know about the rest, so I can't really talk about them, but New York Memory Center, they provide the support group for the caregivers. So it's very good for them to understand what their loved one is going through, because sometimes they don't understand what is going through it and how to help them out and also help themselves out. Sometimes most of the care, the person that their loved ones may have sound downing, which happens more towards the evening time. And then they get to understand ways that they can deal with that situation. And sometimes they do take medication in order to help with the behavior problems. But they do have alternative methods that they can do or add it in conjunction to help, benefit that person.
Oh, that's an excellent point. Thank you. Yeah, so, the behavioral symptoms, anxiety, depression, there's medications for that that could help you through that. And then also counseling is always helpful. Thank you. I know across the street downstate, I'm an associate program director of the residency program there. They have they're a center of excellence for Alzheimer's disease. For Kings County, we're Parkinson's, but across the street at downstate, they're an Alzheimer's dementia center of excellence. So also check out their website. They have a lot of support group links and caregiver support. Yeah, a wealth of information. Oh, sorry, what was wrong? Okay. All right, so to conclude, dementia is a growing challenge, but one we can address through early detection, comprehensive care, prevention strategies, and strong community collaboration. This collaboration is vital, and your insights help us shape better services and support systems. So King's is committed to leading this effort and supporting patients at every step. So thank you for your attention. Any more questions or? Oh, go ahead.
Yes, I have two questions.
Yep.
Question one, a person that started to develop dementia, do they self can recognize that problem?
It's tough. It's very subjective.
Okay.
It's very subjective.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm only going to talk from personal experience. My dad, he knows he's forgetful, but he'll deny that, his memory is going. And it's really the caregiver, my mom or, family members who notice the change.
Okay.
Yeah, but some do. Some do. And then you just get screened. If there's anything you come out of this session, is if you're wondering, if you're not sure, I just want to destigmatize it, because early detection can maybe find you what you have could be reversible. It could be related to a vitamin deficiency. It could be related to a thyroid disorder. It could be a mild stroke, and you find out you have high cholesterol or blood pressure, then you can get it addressed and then nip it at the bud.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question two.
Yes. And I'll say perimenopause causes.
Question two. This have nothing to do with dementia. I'm speaking for myself.
Sure.
Now, my blood sugar level. Okay, I eat upstairs, and if an hour, 2 hours, I check my blood sugar level, it would be maybe at 140.
Okay.
Then it started to come down.
That's good.
At what you call it, fasting.
Yes.
Like say I eat 7 o'clock at night, wake up in the morning and say
Yeah.
7 o'clock, check it, it's at 90, which is good.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
This is where the problem come in. I love to run.
Okay, great.
I go out for a 6 mile run,
Uh-huh.
come back,
Uh-huh.
check it, it's at 200.
Okay. That's okay.
That's okay?
It's okay. You know what it is? It depends. So when you eat, it's expected that your sugars are going to go up, but it's what your body does with it like an hour or two after. Is it able to release the correct amount of insulin, or is your body able to appreciate the insulin that you're secreting or not? So the best way to gauge your sugar control is the A1C level, because we understand that day to day, there's always a constant fluctuation if you're fasting, if you're eating, if it's the holidays. So the A1C number that you guys hear about, it basically is, it's a level of your sugar control over 3 months. So so a A1C kind of tells you in a 3-month period, this is where your sugar control is, if that's helpful.
Okay.
So that's why doctors are always checking your A1C. We want you to check your finger sticks because it helps kind of see the range that you live in most of the time. But an A1C level gives you a 3-month window of how has your sugar been over 3 months.
I mean, that kind of sounds complicated. to
Yeah,
me.
sorry.
But
Yeah.
you know, as I said, the fasting is,
Yeah.
is a 90.
That's okay.
And
Yeah.
I go out, run, come back, is 200.
Okay. But what's
know?
your A1C? If you're checking,
Don't know. I
No?
have no clue.
you don't check it, or you don't want to tell me? It's okay.
No, I'm seriously.
Oh.
I really doesn't know.
Oh, you don't know? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Try, because for sugars, you can hit 200, but your body then starts releasing insulin, and then it brings that sugar down in like an hour or two. So then it should be less than 125, ideally, after 2 hours. Yes.
Good afternoon. Last year, we lost one of my mom's sister to dementia.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also an uncle, another brother
Mhm.
with dementia.
Mm.
And come to find out a few months ago, a second uncle
Mm-hmm.
has been diagnosed with dementia.
Yeah.
And going back now, I start asking around
Mm-hmm.
what happened to those like my mom, grandparents, things like that.
Yeah.
Find out that one of my mom's uncle also died of Alzheimer's years ago.
Mm.
He
Mhm.
got lost for years.
Mhm.
I mean, back then, I guess people didn't
Yeah.
make that connection.
Right.
So I kind of become worried. I said,
Yeah.
on that side of the family,
Yeah.
there's like too many
Yeah.
people with dementia. And
Mhm.
I'm kind of concerned to go
Mhm.
get myself checked.
No. You should.
No, because
No.
you said too many
Okay,
of
no,
them
no, I know,
have
I get
dementia.
it.
So, I mean,
Yes.
I
No,
just want to,
But this is the great news about 2025. Like, one of my slides was about like the recent advances in the medications for Alzheimer's, and it was those IV infusions I was talking about. Like, the technology is so amazing right now that you're able now to create medications that can target. It actually has your immune system fighting the whatever cells are producing something abnormal in your body. Like, it's technology and medicines right now is really it's an amazing time. So if I would get checked, because if you feel like, definitely Alzheimer's, there's hereditary component to it. So get checked, get screened, because you'll go through the basic screening, like a test, the mini mental status exam, then they'll check your blood levels for reversible causes. Then if your doctor, based on the screening test they do, there's biomarkers in your blood and in your CSF. And if they pick up these proteins that tend to build up in Alzheimer's, then the sooner you get started on therapy, like it's a game changer. You're talking about increasing your improving your quality of life and your life expectancy. Because if you get started on treatment earlier, it slows the progression.
Okay. There's a test. I went to see a neurologist. They were talking about a test where I think it's a 24-hour test. You put something in your head so they can study the different reaction to your.
A PET scan?
I think so.
Yeah, so PET
Is that-
scans, so yeah, the technology now is they see, there's, we're able to image a PET scan will basically, they'll inject sugar into your body, and areas of your body that utilize sugar more than others light up, and areas that don't utilize sugar, and those tend to be the areas that might be of concern. So you can actually see through imaging how your body processes sugar, and based on the location and where it is, it gives them a lot of information. And there's PET scans that actually look for that protein that's building up in your body in Alzheimer's. So then they can actually see it.
You think that's a good
Yeah,
decision?
no, it absolutely get screened, because denial, you can't run away from it. Because I always tell people, if you don't control diabetes, blood pressure, high cholesterol, it's going to control you. It's going to control you, and it's going to give you a stroke. It's going to give you a heart attack. It's going to take out it attacks all your organs, and just, you got to take control of the situation. And the good news is that there's medications available, and they're very effective.
What is the thyroid antibodies?
The
Is that
thyroid-
the TPO?
Yeah. Yes.
Now, if you have the T3 level is in range,
Yeah.
and the T4 level is in range, but the TPO is out of range, what is that?
Oh, were you diagnosed with like a thyroiditis or something?
A friend of mine, yes.
a
The
friend?
TPO,
Okay.
the TPO
Yeah,
is
so
high.
yeah, there's a lot of things that could affect your thyroid. Your thyroid is in charge of your body's metabolism. So you could either be hypothyroid, where your thyroid isn't putting out the hormones that your body needs to maintain metabolism, and there's hyperthyroid, where it's
Right.
secreting way too much, and your heart is beating fast, you're febrile. Then what other things that could happen is you can get just a basic viral illness, and then that could affect your thyroid, and then your thyroid starts releasing hormone from that. So
Okay.
sometimes a thyroid abnormalities need not be permanent, but it could have been just related to an illness that was passing through.
Okay, so if the TPO is high, what do they do? Give you medication to bring it down?
Did they? I mean,
No.
it depends. Like,
She
it's
don't.
just-
She don't get the
Yeah,
medication
because
yet, but did
sometimes
she?
no, because sometimes like there's looking at levels, but then knowing what it means and the whole sense of the thing, and knowing what's causing it. So based on their workup, if they feel like if your T3 and T4 are normal levels, there's no need to treat it, because the hormone levels in your body are at the right level. It's when the levels are too low, then you're
Oh,
going to
okay.
feel really tired, headache, depressed. Or if they're too high, your heart's going to be racing. Your temperature is going to increase. Your eyes are going to.
So this high
Oh,
TPO
oh.
floating around is nothing to be concerned about?
I wouldn't be too concerned. It helps diagnose.
Oh,
It helps
okay.
diagnose the underlying problem with the thyroid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
I want to know, when people have dementia or Alzheimer, what does cause them to slow down their eating? Because I find it a lot that people with Alzheimer
Yeah.
or dementia,
Yeah, they eat
it
less.
tends to slow down the eating.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I think a neurologist would be able to answer that. I'm not exactly sure. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not a specialist in Alzheimer's, so I wish I can't answer that. I'm not sure.
You talk about the, I mean, I don't know if I'm silly or whatever.
No, no.
But the protein buildup we're talking about there
Mhm.
with this
With some types of dementia.
dementia.
Yeah.
What protein you talking about?
It's called
PROTIN?
It's amyloid. It's called amyloid, and then there's a tau protein, and then there's something called like a neurofilament. L. So there's different types of proteins that,
What causes that buildup?
well, it's probably a genetic switch in your body that you have. Like it's something that, it's a switch in your body that unfortunately cells are producing this protein. And that's why the advances in medications now, instead of it, they're trying to attack those abnormal proteins as early as possible and then have your own body's immune system kill, like wipe them out. And
Very early in your thing, you mentioned about the vascular dementia.
Yeah.
And I didn't get everything.
Oh, okay.
As to, you know, what happens.
So vascular dementia, it's basically dementia related to things that stop blood flow. So remember, our bodies rely on blood getting, our cells need oxygen and things that our blood vessels carry to each cell to survive. So if there's no blood flow to any part of our body, it's gonna die. So basically in vascular dementia, you had a stroke, like there was an accumulation of cholesterol or there was so much sugar clogging the pipes. Like that's why I try to explain it, like think of your body, your blood vessels literally like different size pipes. And these pipes, the blood vessels go to every cell in your body. And whenever that blood vessel is blocked, then that means there's no blood flow, there's no oxygen, there's no nutrients, and then it dies. So vascular dementia is usually related to a stroke, a blockage in a blood vessel, which is why that's a modifiable risk factor. You control the diabetes, you control the cholesterol, you control your pressure, then the blood vessel and the blood flow to that area of your brain won't be compromised.
So then when the blood vessel is going up your head, it's thickening. What causes that? Is it same amyloid?
Well, for vascular dementia, the amyloid is Alzheimer's. So protein buildup, the amyloid and these tau proteins that they're finding related to Alzheimer's, that's a buildup of a protein related to Alzheimer's. But vascular dementia is, just think of it as a blockage in your blood vessel. And what blockages happen in blood vessels? It's the sugar, the cholesterol, and then if your pressure is high, a blood vessel could pop, and that's a type of stroke.
All right, thank you.
So, Doctor, you mentioned, because a big part of this program is us being aware of preventative factors.
Yes.
So I know you mentioned physical activity. That is something that I think, if you could expand on would be great, because I know that certain hormones are released from the brain.
Yes.
When you exercise, like endorphins or mood boosters, right? So can you talk to more specific physical activities, or people are vary by age, what they can do
That's
to
a great
prevent?
question. It's a great question, because we always think, okay, 30 minutes of aerobic exercise 5 days a week. So it's going to be different from different people. It'll be different for my husband versus my parents. Like my dad, because he is arthritic and I just don't want him to fall and break his hip, he swims. I tell him to swim. So swimming is such a great option. If you can, I can't even tell you. It's also great for the mind, because when you swim, there's no joint pressure. You're actually able to think as you swim and clear your mind. It's almost like you could meditate or just swim out the frustrations or the stress you have. So I think if you're able to swim, swimming is one of the best things for elderly, because as you age, I get it. Like, I'm not going to ask my dad to start jogging. I don't want him to fall and break a hip. So swimming is, and then walking. I just ask him to get around, just try walking, get comfortable sneakers. Don't walk fast, but just walk. Take the stairs if possible. I know that's hard, but stairs are also good. Take your time,
So what does that do to the brain? So when I do engage in the swimming,
okay.
what does that do to help me on the biological level?
Oh, okay. Well, okay. There's what it does with, your muscle. You'll have muscle gain. You'll reduce your fat. But in terms of the endorphins, it releases like these endorphins in the brain. I mean, but I wouldn't say that the exercise is more of, it will reduce your blood pressure, it'll reduce cholesterol, that's kind of how you want to think about exercise affecting, yeah. Puzzles are excellent. Puzzles are excellent. Cards, chess, Sudoku, crossword, bingo. Oh, okay, bingo. You have to, yeah, you gotta be fast with those numbers. Yeah. Dominoes, cards, like you don't have to be, yeah, game boards. I was just talking about it with my daughter, like just engaging in things that make you think.
Yes, and if you don't talk to anyone at all, if you don't communicate, it slow you down, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's like a brain, like they always say, brain's like a muscle, use it or lose it, right? So you got to keep your mind busy. You got to just do things you enjoy. Obviously, if you're going to pick something you don't like, you're not going to do it. So you got to get real with yourself and know what you enjoy or explore. If like, hey, I never played cards or something or learned gin, I don't know, but I see people playing cards. I think cards are great.
Yes, so I have to give thanks to this sister here. I met her here, and she told me about a center not far from where we are living, and now I'm going there. I think much better because we're doing a lot of exercise.
Oh, good.
Yes, on St. Mark's Road, right up there.
You know what? You just reminded me. Tai Chi. Tai Chi's, I think, supposed to be. I see people doing it in the park. Some groups getting together. Those are good because it helps you. It makes you figure out balance, and it's nothing that it's actually supposed to improve your balance.
The reason why I asked, my mother died from dementia, 2023.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
And I'm the eldest of all, so I'm just concerned. Sometimes I'm so forgetful. So that's, I'm so concerned about.
I mean, don't forget, we all forget things. I mean, like it happens.
And I'm diabetic also.
Okay,
so I have to be
well,
very careful,
yeah, take your medicines, eat, what food, I hate restrictive diets. That's why I like the Mind diet. It's restrictive, but it didn't say don't ever take. I hate things where they say you could have a lot of one thing or have zero. It's not real. Like everything, just keep a log, just everything. It's okay to be bad, but then you balance it off the week later. But you're only really going to be able to do it if you keep a log. Oh, you have to keep a log, otherwise it's not going to work.
And cod liver oil is good to take?
Which one?
The liquid.
Cod liver oil.
Yeah.
You don't like fish? I always like I like encouraging them getting it naturally. Like,
coconut oil is good.
They say olive oil is better. If you're gonna pick olive oil.
Okay, thank you.
Olive oil. That's the way to go. All right. Grill it, bake it, don't fry. Like we talked about, go ahead.
Yeah. I want to ask if the dementia, or Alzheimer play a role in depression.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, like we have, for dementia, you're going to get, I don't know if I had a slide. There was definitely depression. Yeah. But you can also try to decrease depression by talking to a therapist, yoga, meditation, support groups. It's really being socially isolated that you're going to get depressed. People need people, and you just have to find those like-minded people like you who you can relate to, and then you engage in activities together that you enjoy.
So a question from the audience came: is schizophrenia and dementia, do they have some overlapping similarities?
I mean, schizophrenia is a behavioral health disorder. It is organic. Like you do have to take medications for it. You have to see a psychiatrist for it. Is there overlap with dementia? There can be. Because again, it's so, I don't want to say it's so easy to get dementia, but if a lot of us have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high diabetes, I mean, A lot of us have these things. Smoking, alcohol. If we drink too much alcohol, it causes us to not eat a proper diet, which leads to vitamin deficiencies. Actually, advanced alcohol leads to a certain type of dementia because it attacks certain parts of your brain that affects balance. And you start doing something we call confabulating, where you're saying something but it doesn't make sense. Like it just attacks certain parts of your brain. And that's related to the vitamin B1 deficiency, because when people who drink heavy tend to just drink and they don't have a regular diet with the vitamins and nutrients that they need. But yes, you can have overlap with schizophrenia. Okay.
So we want to thank you, Dr. Castro.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me. I really.
Could I let out that little secret? They say they can't trust me here with secrets. But it's Dr. Castro's first public, yes, her first public presentation. So we need to make the round of applause more rounder.
Thank you.
You did very well.
Thank you.
And we were blessed. We were blessed.
I feel the same. I feel the same
Amen.
way. Thank you.
So next time we call Dr. Castro, you don't have to wonder who we are. But I don't want us to leave right now because we have a little meet and greet upstairs. So we're gonna sing a song and close out properly. I believe in proper closure. So we're gonna sing in times like these. We heard a lot of things. So in times like these, we need a savior. In times like these, we need an anchor. So we have to ask it, it's 593. We want to be very sure that our anchors will hold and grip the solid rock, and then we'd go upstairs quickly, and then we're just going to meet and hobnob for a little bit and let Dr. And her family go on safely before it gets to midnight. Because we're going to stay here until midnight, Doc. So let's all stand slowly. We've been sitting for a little while. 593 in times like these. And we're going to have a short prayer by the elder. And we'd go upstairs, please. Let's just go upstairs and meet and greet. 593. In times like these, you need a savior. In times like these, you need an anchor.
Be very sure. Be very sure. Your anchor holds and grips the solid rock. This rock is Jesus. Yes, he's the one. This rock is Jesus, the only one. Be very sure. Be very sure. Your anchor holds and grips the solid rock. In times like these, you need the Bible. In times like these, oh, be not idle. Be very sure. Be very sure. Your anchor holds and grips the solid rock. This rock is Jesus. Yes, he's the one. This rock is Jesus, the only one. Be very sure. Be very sure. Your anchor holds and grips the solid rock. In times like these, I have a Savior. In times like these, I have an anchor. I'm very sure. I'm very sure. My anchor holds and grips the solid rock. This rock is Jesus. Yes, he's the one. This rock is Jesus, the only one. I'm very sure. I'm very sure. My anchor holds
and grips the solid rock.
Okay, let's stand as we pray. Thank you again, Doc. We appreciate you. I was so surprised first time. Wow. Whew.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let us pray. Father, again, we are always grateful that you can bring to us information through proven mediums like these that allow us to live better lives and to extend our, longevity as much and as long as we can, and not just live long years, but live long, healthy years. And we thank you that you have blessed us with promises that you wish that we be in good health. And so we are always thankful. We always appreciate these mediums and these messages. We thank you for the day that we have enjoyed and for the company and the fellowship. And again, we want to ask in a special way that you continue to bless this family as they continue to minister in our part of the vineyard with the challenges and the increasing need for their ministries. Continue to give them that's maybe dementia. Is that, Lord? I hope that's not dementia. Thank you. Give them the diligence and the stick-to-itiveness and the willingness and the love and the compassion for the work.
Yes.
Is our prayer this evening in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Yeah.
Let the words of our mouths
And the meditation
of our hearts be acceptable in thy sight, Lord, our strength and our Redeemer. Amen. And please go upstairs so you could, just give Doctor and the family some love, please. Thank you.
Also, folks, on behalf of the AY, we want to say thank you again for joining us. Next week, we're going to follow up with our next program. Also, if you would like, next week is, communion. So no AY, we have shared communion next week at Amazing Grace. If you want access to the slides, I have them with Doctor's permission. I will send it to the Voice of Hope group chat. You will have the information. You can share it with your loved ones, okay? Thank you very much.